Hey guys, it is me, the WildWestGamer. I'm here doing film reviews for you guys. Just sat back, relaxing, drinking an energy drink. Um, I've had a lot of these today. I've had like 3 energy drinks, and I've been like off my tits on sugar, basically. But yeah, enough about my tits. And they are substantially sized boobies. Anyway, moving on. Um, End of Watch. Yeah, End of Watch. Which is basically a cop buddy film, which I hate. I can't stand cop buddy films. I think it's probably to do with the fact that since, as Beverly Hills Cop started, sort of really, going downhill, and the fact that, most cop buddy films, are just most cop buddy films tend to be comedies, and they are very, very bad. I keep thinking back to Showtime, starring Robert De Niro and Eddie Murphy. First of all, why was an actor as good as Eddie Murphy, an actor as good as Robert De Niro? And why did he say yes to that film? And second of all, why was Eddie Murphy allowed in front of the camera? That guy has not been funny since, well, forever, to be honest with you. So stop, Eddie Murphy. Sit down. Stop trying to be funny. It's as sad as watching Martin Lawrence try to be funny. Just no. No, Eddie Murphy. No. Stop. So yeah, I hate cop buddy movies. I really don't like them. I wish I did. I know a lot of people do like cop buddy films, but I just don't. So when someone said to me, "Hey, check out End of Watch," I was like, "Okay, fine, whatever." So I pinched my dad's DVD copy of it because that's what parents are for, right? And I sat down one evening, had a beer, bag of crisps or so, and just sat there and was really sort of sat back going, I'm ready to switch over as soon as this thing gets dull. Well, End of Watch is probably the best film I've watched this year, and I say that unashamedly. I with no embellishment whatsoever. End of Watch, if you ever sit down and watch a film, watch End of Watch. It is amazing. It is so good. Jake Gyllenhaal, Michael Pena, fantastic. Everything about them, the charisma they have together, their own individual personalities and characters. They are funny, they're likable. It's not set up as a comedy. It's set up as just like an average day in the life of an LAPD police officer. Well, it spans over a couple weeks, couple months, I think, but it is just fantastic, and the film would fall apart completely if their if their chemistry and their relationship did not translate well. Well, it is I swear to God, these guys are really police officers. I know both guys went on night drives with police officers to get ready for the film, but they could either both be police officers or they could both be best friends. Those guys have got to be best friends in real life because they are just so comfortable with one another on the camera. It is fantastic, and I'm sure that 97% of that film, that's a very specific number, I'm sure that at least 99% of that film is just them improvising, just improv, just them coming up with stuff on the spot, because it is so natural. It really is. What I love about the film is there is a traditional I can't even say the word. There is a traditional way of shooting a film, fixed cameras and everything. But at the same time, there's also sort of like Jake Gyllenhaal's character in it he's also doing a film studies degree or course or whatever, and he's filming all of this, which is quite a nice setup. It's not the main part, main idea of the film. It's just a small part of it, which is nice because it builds character for him and also gives us a reason to see sort of this more documentary style footage, which I really like. It's not shaky cam, it works. Excuse me. So yeah, sometimes you've got traditional fixed camera angles, sometimes you've got this little camera on them, or sometimes it is done like a documentary, footage, like someone is, there with the camera crew actually filming them, because there's a little bit of bob to it, a little bit of zooming in, trying to get focus. That is really nice. It's never overdone. You don't notice it. It just helps add to the aesthetic of the film. You feel more like this is a documentary. You are watching the day in the life of these two police officers, and I love that. Too often a big deal is made about, the fact is like, oh, I've got a fucking handheld camera. Ooh, fuck yeah. It's like, no, stop. I get you've got a camera, all right? Let's just pull it back and get back to the film. But this film doesn't do that. It's like, no, we've got the camera. We're going to make it, this is how we want the film to feel. So we're not going to make a big deal about this. And I like that. And yeah, End of Watch is just so good. It just, like I say, it just takes you through the day in the life of a police officer, from just ordinary patrols to walking the beat, just talking to civilians, citizens, people, just the public, general people, going to informants, following leads, traffic stops, stuff like that. And as the film goes on, this what starts off as just a drive-by between a Mexican gang and a Mexican gang on a black, well, not really a black gang, it's just a group of guys outside their house, which is nice because the film doesn't immediately go with all black guys are always gangsters and Mexican guys are always it just doesn't go for stereotypes. There is depth to every character, and I like that. I like it's not just a stereotyped racial sort of caricature. I can't stand that. There are a guy, black guys, white guys, Mexican guys, whatever. They can dress however they want. They can say whatever they talk however they want. Doesn't mean they're whatever. This film doesn't do that, really doesn't. And likewise, it doesn't show the police as just being, mindless racists. Because a lot of films do that. A lot of films are not ashamed to just portray the police as being outright assholes. And again, I don't like that. This film takes everyone into account and makes them believable. Like I was saying, what starts as what starts as a drive-by shooting by a Mexican gang on some black guys, some friends and family members outside their house, quickly turns into this sort of cross-country criminal. Basically these two police officers step into a multi-country criminal organization being run from Mexico into California. And it involves people smuggling and weapons smuggling, drugs, everything like that. And they inadvertently step on it. They start, they scratch away at the surface. They inadvertently, stir up a hornet's nest. And they really do find themselves in a lot of hot water. And yeah, like I say, the film is just great because it's always dealt with so believably. I never go, oh, this is just so Hollywood. This just doesn't feel real at all. Everything feels absolutely spot on. I believe that these guys are coming across stuff. I believe these guys are, dealing with real stuff. And it's just so. It's what I like about this film is that one of the things I love about this film is you genuinely get the sense that these guys are. They're just douchebags, they're just mucking around, they think it's all funny, but underneath that they really are serious about it. They do take the job, it's not just a joke for them. It's more like a defense mechanism. If anyone says, you guys are just jokers, you're just mucking around, they'll play up to it, but because they're not going to just say, yeah, we're all badge and cuffs and guns, we're the police, we're the law. They like to relax around each other, not around anyone else, and you feel them more like they, are brothers. Likewise, you meet their families. Michael Pena's character is already married he's about to have a baby with his wife. And Jake Gyllenhaal's character is he sort of dated a lot of girls, and he sort of meets this one, and she seems to be, the one. And their characters, the characters and stories evolve from there. Like I said, the sort of the public side of the film, the characters outside the police you meet, like I say, aren't stereotyped characters. There's a lot of conversation held between them all, a lot of conversation where you see sort of the inner workings of gangs. You come to understand that, whilst we're led to believe that it's all just a very sort of corrupt and debased sort of form of organization, in actual fact there's a more believable spin put on this, which is not. The film is believable, all right? I'm not going to try and jerk around with big words, all right? The film is believable, and you see how gangs actually look after one another. And if people don't like that, don't like to think that criminals look after each other, then don't fucking watch this film, bury your head in the sand. Criminals look after each other. It's true. At the beginning, the film starts with the initiation of a gang member, and it isn't just, it's not, fucking getting a fist fight or, stab someone up. This guy has to commit murder along with the rest of this gang to get along. But they help him through it. They build him up. They tell him it's, once you do this, you're one of us. We're going to look after you. Likewise, they ain't all just, it's not just effing and blinding, and just swearing, acting like a dick. They are genuinely, they genuinely have conversations. They're like, we're going to get, they're just talking. They're just genuinely talking, having an honest conversation. And you see what makes them tick. And a lot of that is the fact they've got to the top of the pecking order. They believe, they've made it in life. They've done what they've had to do. They've fought through various gang wars or whatever. They are now sitting at the top of the gang. They're at the top of the pile. Everyone works for them. And that's, it's sort of like that with the police. They work hard to be who they are, to be at the top of their game. So, everyone works for them. That's how it is. And this is why the two forces seem to clash. It's not this sort of deep societal, issue. It is just as simple as two power bases, crashing against each other. Order and chaos, police and criminals, good versus bad. That's simply it. I mean, it's a bit more deep. The film, it lets you see the deeper side to it, but at the same time, it's that simple and that complex. And I really like that about this film. It really does put it into both black and white, as well as to explore the grey area. And of course, there's a great bit where you sort of see the sort of stranger side to police, being a police officer, where Michael Pena's character takes off his badge and shield, takes off his belt and badge, and fights this black dude. They fight each other, and they say, because the guy's saying, I'm not going to tell you anything, you're police, and he says, you don't show any respect to me, so why am I going to do it? So Michael Pena's character says, fine, if I fight you, if I beat you up, because you keep insulting us like we're nothing, if I fight you like a man to a man, you put these cuffs on yourself, all right, and we'll take you back to the station, yeah, and you help us with our inquiry, stuff like that. So they get in a fight, and Michael Pena's character beats him, and the black guy puts the cuffs on himself, but later on they're talking about it, and the black guy's like, yeah, no, to be fair, he beat me, that's that. It wasn't like, oh, you beat me, I'm going to cap you. It's like, the two men had, regardless of the fact they're both from different sides of the law, had an understanding. They both respected it. And the thing is, you sort of see, whilst there's still distrust after that encounter, the men do respect each other. They have conversations. They hold a conversation. And the black dude actually says to him, you guys are, the Mexicans are after you. Watch out. So, it's just nice to see that. It's just nice to see this film not treat its source material with a very Hollywood spin. It does something new and interesting, and I've never seen a film quite like this. I really haven't. And I hope this sort of this inspires a lot of other directors to perhaps try this with other different genres. It would be great to see. It really would be, because at the end of it, I felt like I genuinely watched both a film and a documentary. I felt like I'd both been entertained and I'd learned something, and I think that's really what films should do. Films should both educate you, or at least give you a message, or something like that, as well as give you a bloody good time. So that was it, guys. That was what I thought of End of Watch. Definitely check it out. Really do. Really, really check it out. Jake Gyllenhaal and Michael Pena. Even if you don't like hot films, if you can't stand, if this is not for you at all, just their relationship is enough to get you through this film. It really, I promise you, it is. They are so funny in this, and what's nice is that it's not a comedy film, but they're just naturally funny. So none of the laughs feel forced. It's not like a forced joke, like, oh yeah, you would never really say that, but oh well, it's funny. It's, you would say that, and it's still funny. It's just friends telling each other stupid stories. So yeah, that's really what I have to say about that. End of Watch. Check it out, guys. And yeah, be prepared to be just fucking blown away. So yeah, see you guys later. Bye. Take it easy.